myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
No, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, then I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of
Welcome to the first episode of the Legendary Sports Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Jared Michelson.
And I am Antoine Beeks.
Yo, and man, exciting that we're finally get this popping.
What's going on, my brother?
Yeah,
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to do this, man.
This all kind of started over us playing the terrible round of disc golf.
Oh, man. Disc golf. That was terrible. But, hey, I was going to say I'd do it again if I know that this is what's going to come out of it.
Yeah. I'll keep chucking them into the woods if that's the case.
Man.
But now, man, we get to finally come here and talk about, one of our favorite sports, football and fantasy football. And, man, I'm pumped to be able to do this.
Man, I'm excited to be here, man. Excited to impart some of my football wisdom on some people. For those of you who are just beginning fantasy football, those of you who have been in the game for a while, and those of you who just want to just watch, because – we could all learn something from somebody, We were talking off air, and you was talking about how you're a running back heavy guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a wide receiver loaded guy. I'll have
Well, I know you got to trade for me later with all those receivers you got.
It depends on who gets hurt first, right?
It
really just depends on who gets hurt first.
We'll see. So what we have for you guys today is, we want to give you guys a little intro to the podcast, but then we also want to do a mock draft to kind of for us to get a feel for what's going on in the industry, and then for you guys to get a feel, too, to see where ADPs are rising, falling, and everything like that. So we're going to pause here real quick. We're going to get all set up with the mock draft, and we're going to come back, and we're going to enjoy some we're going to do 5 rounds. We're going to enjoy 5 rounds with you guys, and then we'll see what we can do, see what we can build in those 5.
Man, 5 rounds sounds good.
Perfect. All right. Let me move this window down here. And now we are going to be doing a live mock draft. Here we go. Still got about 40 seconds left, but we'll keep you all guys entertained for the short time here.
This short 40 seconds. So
what position did you pick?
What position did I pick?
Or what position do you have in our mock?
I have the 4th spot. Oh, yeah, I have the 4th spot.
Gotcha.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how I got the 4th spot, but I got the 4th spot.
Yeah, I went for 11 for you guys who get the back end of the. Now this is a 12-team PPR, so receivers are gonna be having this one, but I put the 11th spot for you guys to try to, for you people who got the struggle bus locations, we're gonna see what we can build out of this in the first 5 rounds. See if we can get something solid. Here we go. So we're using Fantasy Pros to do our mock draft. We like to use them just because they have a consensus ranking for all the fantasy analysts. That's what we put on for our our ranking standards. So
Justin Jefferson off the board early.
Yep.
So there's been high hopes for this Bijan Robinson guy from Atlanta. Have you heard anything about him?
The running back?
Yeah.
I have. They what was his name from last year? Tyler Algier or whatever? Yeah, he just wasn't cutting it for what they needed, so we'll see.
Man, they went Jamar Chase right before me. So we were talking earlier about where do you go when Hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and make this pick really quick.
It gets tense. Steph, you up on the clock.
Where's Derrick Henry?
Oh,
that's my bad.
Yep.
I should have been.
Yep. So you gotta click on your individual, and there's at the lower piece of there's a suggest player.
Yeah, I kept clicking it, and they got all of these.
Oh, you got siphon it out by actual position. Make it easy.
Yeah. I did that too. I went to running back, but they only suggest one player at a time.
Go to the cheat sheet.
And these are the guys.
Use the cheat sheet. That gives you more.
Okay.
Yep.
But here we go. These are the guys that they have in front of Derrick Henry. Austin Eckler, who just went off the board. Christian McCaffrey 1, Austin Eckler 2, Saquon Barkley 3, Bijan Robinson 4.
Yep.
Tony Pollard 5.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor 6.
Yep.
Nick Chubb 7. Ramondre Stevens 8. Josh Jacobs 9. Derrick Henry 10. I don't know how much I'm feeling that.
What would you change? What are you feeling? Tell me.
This fantasy stuff, sometimes it gets a little bit besides itself. Like this Bijan Robinson guy.
Yep.
I know that they have a lot of high hopes for him, and I know they're going to put him in a lot of different situations to be successful. But we're talking about Derrick Henry here. The Triple Crown King.
The guy that also has a ton of miles on his body.
Man,
just got off foot problems and all that good stuff.
Man, listen. There's special kind of running backs in this world, and he's one of them.
He is special. That is the truth.
He is one of a kind. He is some stuff like Adrian Peterson-esque type stuff.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that. Stiff arms that send you to another planet, but the miles. It's all about the miles. And Arthur Smith wants to run first. Okay, my draft. So I am in the 11th spot. So I get 2 pretty close picks. I see my man Saquon, who was a savior for me last year, still pretty high up on the board. Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra, A.J. Brown. So let's see what else we have here. Okay, so I'm going to get a few more. I believe in you. Babdall, I believe in you. Don't let me down. We're going for Saquon.
Man, you went with Saquon, right? And Saquon is here holding out right now.
I ain't scared of that.
You ain't scared of that?
No, he signed a 1 year.
No, he's holding out. Did I miss that?
I believe he signed a 1 year.
You're on the clock.
Oh, yeah, I get another one. And then the question is, do I trust Jimmy Garoppolo?
You trust Jimmy Garoppolo?
I think I do. I think Devontae's still going to get fed, so I got to do it. I dismissed him last year when he was with Carr. I can't do that again.
Guys, I just want you guys to know that Devontae Adams is my favorite player in the NFL at this moment. I would take Devontae Adams every day of the week and twice on a Sunday if we're talking football. That's just how I feel about him, man.
He is. So I was just watching a video the other day of Justin Jefferson doing his training, and they asked him who his top receivers are, and Devontae Adams was like his number one. It's like, I don't know who can cover him. His releases, the way he gets off the ball, never being the same, the way he's always open, it's elite.
His cuts, his route running, his hands.
His focus. Yep.
I don't think there's none like him in the league. Now, we could talk about Justin Jefferson. He's very explosive. He is very explosive. Mm-hmm. But
Saquon did sign a 1 year. He doesn't like the contract, but he signed the 1 year with him.
Okay. So
Saquon, it was like 11 mil 1 year or something like that.
Okay.
So, yep. So you better love my pick now, man.
You know what though? Also, I like Saquon. Yeah. I really do. I don't like how so much has to be put on him.
It's gonna have to be again because they have he's their best weapon. They only have one good, healthy, or possibly consistently healthy receiver because Sterling Shepard's always hurt. The leading receiver from last year is not even there anymore.
Oh no! Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
They went to Derrick Henry right before I can get to him.
Oh dang!
Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm not having my best draft here, but you know what?
So let's go here to the board. That way we can see your team. So Antoine is AJ Moroccan.
Mo Rockin.
So he's got Cooper Kupp and Josh Jacobs through the first two. And here I am in the back with Saquon and Devontae. We flipped. I went running back receiver. He went receiver running back. Man. So we're looking at Ramondre. So I would love to get a Ramondre. He was also up there for me because there's no competition with Damian Harris gone.
I love Ramondre Stevens. I love Damian Harris. I hope Damian Harris goes to Buffalo and
I don't think they want James Cook to be that dude.
They do, but he's not that dude.
How do you know? He hasn't had a full opportunity to do that. He was a rookie, man. What do you want from the man?
Man, hey, listen, I don't want to hear nothing about rookies. There's rookies that come in and ball all the time. Najee Harris.
Not with two people in front of him, though.
Well, he wasn't that good if he had two
Hines
people
is
in front of
gone?
him.
Oh.
He wasn't that good if he had two people in front
As
of
a
him.
rookie, shoot. What? Come on, man.
Hey, if we're talking about a guy,
And he got more work than Zach Moss too. So he ended up supplanting Zach Moss. So let's don't worry about that. Zach Moss found his way into the nosebleeds. He's watching the games now.
you know what? I don't like what they're doing over there in Buffalo. So there's that. Hey guys, I'm gonna go here with this pick here. The best tight end, arguably the best tight end in the league. You guys can have Travis Kelce. I'm always gonna roll with my guy Mark Andrews. I think he's a dog, man. I just like him.
I don't really like that you did that to me because I really want to get Mark Andrews. So I'm trying to fill my tops on each one of my levels here. I'm trying to get my running back, my wide receiver 1, my RB1, and my TE1. And now you're taking it off away from me. Now I gotta wait forever.
So
because I don't trust the other tight ends. I like Kittle, but there's too many mouths to feed in San Francisco. There's too much going on. Debo Samuel, CMC, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. There's no room, man.
Man, let's talk about Brandon Ayuk. He came on hard last year at the end.
Yeah, towards the end he did.
He came on heavy.
He's the best route runner on the team, pure route runner on the team.
He's the best wide receiver on the team.
True wide receiver, yes.
Yes.
Debo Samuel is a Swiss Army knife. So yeah.
But he plays wide receiver. But if we're talking,
okay, so here I go. I'm on the clock here. So let me switch over to the suggestions. See what we got here for the third round. Bottom of the third here. Joe Mixon, DK Metcalf, Mari Cooper, the Debo who we talked about. Man, that scares me a little bit, though. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know about Chris Godwin or any of that, but I'm going to go Joe Mixon. Filled up my RB1 and 2. I know he's going to get a lot more workload with if the Joe Burrow, who we wanted to talk about a little bit, his calf injury, calf strain. So he's going to be relied upon more in that offense. So,
yeah, I think Joe Burrow comes back healthy for week 1. He wasn't playing in the preseason anyway, right?
He just probably faked the strain so he could sit down.
He wasn't playing in the preseason anyway. So let's just get that out of there. And then I think he's gonna light it up, man. I think let's not be fooled about what Joe Burrow does, man. Joe Burrow lights it up. Although he kind of started off really bad last year, and I didn't really like it as much.
Fair.
Fair.
I got to figure out, do I go tight end here? Do I go for another running back? Everybody likes Jahmyr Gibbs, but I don't know if I'm that guy.
I'm not a Jahmyr Gibbs either. Well, I'm thinking that
I went for Ridley in the fourth. People have been hating on Ridley because he's been out for basically 2 seasons, but Trevor Lawrence has taken a step up. There's only one other person in the offense that's even good, and Christian Kirk. Well, Evan Ingram's pretty good.
Christian Kirk? What about Travis Etienne? And what about?
He'll get some. But you don't draft the first overall pick to be thrown to the running backs.
Was that just you?
No, I went for Calvin Ridley.
Oh, you picked Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I don't know if Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna get as much work as people think. And the
I don't
fourth
think
round
he's
is too early.
Swift. They still got DeAndre Swift.
Nope, he's gone.
No, he's gone.
Yeah, I believe he's gone.
Is Jamal Williams?
DeAndre's with Philadelphia.
Jamal Williams is still there.
Nope, he's gone. He's in New Orleans.
What have I been watching?
Oh man, you way behind the times.
I am.
No, they have David Montgomery from the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So they got David and Jahmyr Gibbs as their rookie from this year, and everybody thinks the rookie's going to take over, but David Montgomery has never had a good offensive line, so this could be a year where, like, he can really show what he can actually do. He's still young.
I like David Montgomery.
He runs hard, and everybody called him slow his rookie year or whatever, which probably was the offensive line just letting everybody tackle him. But the second year he stepped up. He was faster, more explosive, bigger plays, stuff like that.
I mean, he's had a couple of good seasons back to back, and I will know because he's been on my fantasy team the last couple of years.
So I just think the third and fourth round is still too early for Jamar if they're going to be splitting. If it's 50-50 or whatever case may be, that's just not enough work, for a rookie.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go with this guy here because he came on crazy big at the end of the year last year. And that's Kenneth Walker before he got hurt. He was tearing it up, man. Mm-hmm. And I think that they're going to Pete Carroll likes to run that ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to pound it to Kenneth Walker, man. I think he's
I
going to
agree.
be really good.
I thought I saw something about his running stats. He wasn't that efficient, though, if I'm correct. But again, he was a rookie and figuring out his way. Now, he scored and had some big plays, but I thought his overall efficiency was lower than, pardon me, what you would think for what the stats he put up that year. So, average yards per carry and stuff like that. Okay, when do I come up? You on the clock right now?
Am I on the clock?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, no.
Got 15 seconds.
Well, let's see where we go here. Man, I thought that thing was dinking on me to go faster.
It is telling you to go faster. Want you to make moves.
Oh, man, we're going to go right here with Trevor Lawrence.
Gotcha.
We went Trevor Lawrence there.
All right, let's see what rosters look like. So here's my roster right now on the left. Saquon, Joe Mixon, Devontae, and Calvin Ridley. I don't feel too upset about it. I got a bye problem here in week 13, but I'll live. And then we're going to go find Antoine with Trevor Lawrence, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Kupp, and Andrews. So who's going to be your fill for wide receiver 2?
You know, we have to figure this out.
Now, we might have to go a couple more rounds. Maybe we'll give the people a bonus.
Yeah. Hey, look at 228 attempts for over 1,000 rushing yards, 4.6 per carry.
Okay. So
9 TDs.
Okay.
That wasn't that bad.
No.
And then he didn't play. He missed 4 games.
He did, yeah.
He missed 4 games for that injury. So
Yep.
those explosive plays, they came.
They made up for the weak ones.
Balanced.
They made up for the
balanced
weak
out. And I'm looking for
ones.
some more big plays, man.
Yep.
And also, I just don't see the other running backs beating him out. I think that he
He gets a full
promise.
workload, right? He gets
Yeah.
to be the guy, and those are the people I go for. That's why I picked Saquon. He is the guy. There's nobody after Saquon on that roster.
There is nobody after Saquon.
So, ooh, now
Hey,
this
wait a
is
second.
this
Wait a
is
second.
move.
Are we being disrespectful to Darren Waller? Are we being
No,
those
no,
guys?
no. I'm just not talking tight ends at this moment. I
You just
love.
said there's no one on the roster.
As far as offense of skill position,
What? You don't think Darren Waller deserves the respect of being? I mean, he had a down year last year. Let's be honest. But the whole Oakland Raiders team had a down year last year.
He's one of the better weapons on the team, but he's basically in the same category to me as like Sterling Shepard and
No. Okay, I think we're being a little bit disrespectful to Darren
Waller's
Waller.
injury prone too. He started the season injured.
Darren Waller, I know you watching, bro. Light it up, bro. I know you watching.
I hope he does. I hope he bounces back in a great way. But I get the injury fear. That just scares me. I'm not a quarterback guy till later, so. And if the hype is true for the Indianapolis Colts rookie quarterback, then I am going to be happy with Pittman. But we'll see if he can actually be the guy.
Man, you know what? You only get one chance to be the guy with me, and he had that chance last year, and that dude let me down, man.
Oh, but they got a new guy now.
Man,
they're rookie.
I do not want to hear that. He let me down, and that's all I know. All I know.
Well, a different guy let you down last year. It's a new guy now, so don't worry. Anthony Richardson's the new guy, so he supposedly in training camp he's been more polished than they expected him to be this early. Because he wasn't a low draft pick, but he wasn't the highest either. But he has a cannon. But the accuracy and the decision making was a problem. So, but if he can correct those things with a rifle like Josh Allen, watch Pittman and all these guys, they would take some deep shots. So, we'll see.
How do you feel about Jahan Dotson?
I feel, yes, Tyler Lockett, perfect. I think he could be a good player for Washington. They need to have some weapons. I think Diami Brown should be back. I believe he's still on the roster. So
Hey, here I go. This is one of my favorite guys in the league. Mike Evans. Dude is put on
who's
crazy.
throwing to him?
Hey, who threw to him before?
Jameis Winston was actually a good, I don't care quarterback where I'm just going to throw the rock. These other guys are too timid.
You think Baker Mayfield is timid? Baker Mayfield be slinging that
Baker
thing.
Mayfield be getting lit up. That's why he be getting sacked and getting injured because he just holds the ball too long. He can't make decisions like that quick.
Hey, listen.
That's why a first overall pick keep getting moved around.
Hey, listen. All I know is that he better throw that thing.
Yeah, that's the thing is Jameis wasn't scared to throw that.
Hey, so listen. Here's another.
Took Sean Payton to tame Jameis.
I always say I do a lot of saying like this is my guy, this is my guy. This is my guy right here.
Oh, I agree. 1,000 yards in every season he's played. Incredible.
I'm talking about this guy too, right here. Cortland Sutton. I'm just waiting on him to break out,
Russ
man.
can't cook.
I'm waiting for
Russ
him.
can't cook. Russ burning the mac and cheese in the kitchen, man. He can't cook.
Hey, man, listen. Russ is one of my favorite guys. So, for those of you guys who don't know, is Go Hawks. Seattle Seahawks fan over here. Jared didn't let you guys know.
I need a vomit sound effect right
Yeah. Right? So, Jared likes the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
so
yeah, let's go.
I'm not gonna do a lot of hating on
Jackson 8.
I'm not gonna do
Jackson 8, baby.
I'm not gonna do a lot of hating on the Baltimore Ravens and stuff like that.
I'm just hating on Russ. I'm not hating on the Seahawks.
Man, you
I
know
don't
what?
mind
If
the
we're
Seahawks.
talking
fine.
about hating on, I used to couldn't stand Lamar Jackson, dude.
Wow, Lamar, I hope you're hearing this.
I know you watching Lamar.
I
I know you
hope
watching
you-
Lamar. Hey, listen,
Your flag's planted, man. Don't worry about it. You're all right.
man.
Your flag.
Dude just does not throw the ball. He only wants to run. Now, last year, let's
Yeah, 5 touchdown game, but I guess that's just we're not gonna talk about that, huh?
the what?
The 5 touchdown game. We're just not
Where he
gonna
started the season
Yeah,
off with
yeah,
5
yeah,
touchdowns and
yeah,
then threw 1 touchdown a game after.
Don't worry about that. He balanced it out. That's 6 touchdowns in 2 games,
Oh,
man.
my
What are we
God.
talking about?
No,
That 3
man,
touchdowns
I
a
don't want to
game.
hear that. I want him to
And he
throw.
probably had 100 yards rushing that second game too.
Exactly. Go be a running back if you want to rush the
We're talking
ball.
about fantasy though, so that's important to have in fantasy.
That is very important to have in fantasy.
That's important.
But
to have.
as
Oh,
a
I'm on the clock.
From
I
a
get my
football
QB.
standpoint,
I'm gonna go Tua because he's got weapons. We're in the 7th round. I'll
and
live with
he
him.
has head issues.
He does. He does.
But you know what though? I like it.
Well,
there is a lot of
hopefully Mike
quarterbacks to go
Daniels
around.
learn from that, and he keeps his quarterback upright, gets him some offensive line, so Tua stays with us a long time. He showed a lot of greatness last year, a lot of good stuff.
He did.
Yep. So, beating Buffalo and all that good stuff. I think that was like week 3 or something like that, so that was awesome. But he's got to stay standing for that to stay.
I want to know
Hey, who are you aiming for rookies? I just want to know what's in your brain.
rookies.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on in your mind.
You know what? I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't really be going after rookies.
You're not really that fun to draft with if you're not going after rookies. I don't know who to snipe then. I'm trying to snipe people from you. That's the point of this conversation.
No, I don't go after
The point of this
rookies.
conversation is I'll try to steal some players.
I don't
I'm
go after
gonna
rookies.
fill my roster with Evan Ingram. That way I can focus on just filling my bench up now.
Oh, you talk about sniping players. Oh,
I like where Jacksonville's going.
That was
and
my guy.
I'm
That
not
was my
hating on
next one.
ETN. This is the card rate. You can't see it, but I have an ETN card sitting on the desk here with his autograph. So, but I'm all about that, and he's going to be a good part of that offense. But so is Evan Ingram. He turned up and he found his way with Doug Pearson last year.
Man, he turned up in a way
Yep.
that you couldn't even believe.
All right. So what do you want to close out for rounds? You want to close out the 9?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make it 9 our last pick. So you guys got a bonus out of this. So that's what we're doing out here.
So check me out. Look where I'm going with this one. I told you guys I'm a wide receiver heavy guy. This guy in a 2 spot for his team goes crazy. Gabe Davis, game changer. When he's on, he's on.
I'm hoping that he gets to be more the guy that he could be and should have been, in the last season. But I think you're right. And with who knows how Stefan's gonna feel if he asks for a trade or do whatever. If he does, that puts Gabe Davis right up there. So we'll see how that turns out. But he's just got to hopefully be a little more consistent. There was some injuries and stuff and everything, so we got to put that in there too for factoring. But overall, I agree with you. He's someone I wasn't looking at last year, and I'm glad I didn't, and I was right. But this year's a little bit different, so
I think he's gonna be all right, man. I think he's gonna be all right. Hey guys, I'm a wide receiver heavy guy. I can't tell you guys enough of this. This guy, once he returns healthy, and I believe this is his time. This is his time of him returning healthy. And he's going to come back and return to form. And the reason why I think he's going to return to form is because he's never been an explosive guy. He's been a short catch turning into some yak. He's been a short catch turning into some yak guy. And I think that with Derek Carr there, they're going to try to get that ball out of Derek Carr's hand real fast. Chris Olave is the one who stretches the field. And you got Mike Thomas all underneath that stuff up in there.
I'm just scared of Mike Thomas, the injury-prone player now. I don't know. He scarred me last year because he was supposed to be my secret pick, and it just did not do it for me. That was the worst secret I've ever tried to keep.
It was mine too, but guess what? I'm still putting him on my board.
Did not. I got to make a hard-fought decision here at the end. I'm going to pick Lazard over Moore because he's with his man Aaron in the NY. So I'll go over Antoine's team a little bit here. We got Trevor Lawrence, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis, and Michael Thomas through 9 rounds.
Talk to me, baby.
We'll let the draft keep going over here on the side, but we'll still continue talking about our pieces. So now I'll go back to my team. So we got Tua, Saquon, Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram, Tyler Lockett, Michael Pittman, and Alan Lazard through 9. I feel okay about the team. It's not something I would write home about, but I feel like this year is a little bit different where we're in a transition period for talent. Like we have a lot of young talent still finding their way in the league. So there's a lot that needs to be developed within these players, right? We got a lot of 5-year and younger players in the league. So there's a lot of that we need to account for during this kind of transition. It's not like we're seeing, or even quarterbacks, but we're not seeing Peyton Manning. We're not seeing Tom Brady. We're not seeing Big Ben. We're not seeing Phillip Rivers. We're seeing a new cast, right? We got Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. All these guys are young, man. These guys are young players.
And don't forget about the guys, the Deshaun Watsons, the Dak Prescotts, the guys, the Kirk Cousins, the guys who still have something to prove. Yep. And where we are and what we're going to be trying to give to these guys is who do we watch first and where are we going? Mm-hmm. Because you got guys like Dak Prescott who have CeeDee Lamb, but then who's the number 2? Who's going to step up? That number 2 spot is taken, but there's so many guys there that they have that can just break out at any moment. Yep. Same with Minnesota. You got Justin Jefferson, but what about KJ Osborne? Mm-hmm. They got rid of Thielen. They got rid of, who's going to do what? Then we talked about Jahan Dotson. Young guy from last year, he stepped up really good. Scary Terry is still Terry's still there. DJ Moore goes to Chicago. What are we looking at there? So it's just it's looking like a lot of stuff is happening, man.
Yes. We're gonna take a quick break here, take a pause. We're gonna pull down the draft, pull back up our handsome faces, and then close out the show with you guys. So appreciate you guys hanging on and sticking with us through the draft. We'll be back with you in one moment. All right, we are back. So we're gonna do a little bit of a draft recap here to help close it out. And so let's start with Antoine. See how he feels about the people he picked through the first 9 rounds, and tell us about your squad.
Well, I typically fall in love with people, people that I've seen, people that I've had in the past, and stuff like that. And I wasn't, like you said about your team. This isn't nothing to write home about. I'm not really a big Cooper Kupp fan. I kind of got baited into taking him earlier.
Crazy about that one. I like Cooper Kupp.
Man, see, and you like Cooper Kupp, and then this is something that we'd be talking about. Hey, man, I got Cooper Kupp. You got Devontae.
I'll trade you Tyler Lockett for him.
Yeah,
since
see,
you're that upset.
he's one of those guys that he's one of those guys that'll be like, this is your favorite team, so take him. He wants to win the deal.
Hey, man, that's what you gotta do to win the league. You gotta win the deal to win the league.
Hey, I'm not trading. Well,
what fun are you?
I would want
What fun are
I
you?
would want Devontae Adams. I might give up something more. And see, this is where I go deep into like picking wide receivers, so that if I, have to throw someone else in there, it doesn't hurt my team as much because I got guys on my bench like Gabe Davis, and Michael Thomas, on my bench, and guys like Cortland Sutton, and you looking like.
Michael Thomas.
Hey,
Michael
man,
Thomas was my favorite receiver, and possibly still is from a skill standpoint. He's incredible as a receiver. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, listen, we've talked about how we're gonna do some bets and stuff like that. I bet you two Powerades. I want blue. That Mike Thomas has a bounce back season. 60
I hope he does.
65 catches. 65 catches.
65? You call that a bounce back for a guy that had over 120?
With Drew Brees as his quarterback, yes. 120 with Drew Brees as your quarterback. You talking about a Hall of Famer compared to Derek Carr, who can't win a game.
Yeah, but if Devontae Adams can get with Derek Carr can get over 120, Michael Thomas will be able to pull that off too.
Derek Carr didn't have Michael. Wait a second. Look, you got me stuttering over here.
Devontae Adams had a great year.
He had a great year. I had him on my team.
Because all you got to do is feed the main guy the rock. Just feed him the rock. Let him do work. Look at that. 100 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 14
You
touchdowns.
said 120. He's not going to get 120.
Yeah, but he's got to get more than 65 to be a quality player.
65 receptions is a great is a good receiver.
Not for someone who you call a caliber of Michael Thomas, who was.
Okay, so what do you call? How many receptions do we need to have? 80. I'll bank that he gets 85. I'll say he can get 85 receptions.
Then I'll qualify him as a bounce back, but I'm not qualified as a bounce back at 65 receptions.
So 80 receptions or 85?
85.
You willing to make the bet at 85 receptions that he won't get 85 receptions?
I think it'll be under 85.
I'm taking the over. 85 or over for two Powerades.
I want it. He's gonna get 84, 85 or under, or 84 and under.
Okay.
But what about the injury thing? So how we play it for that? Does that know the bet?
No, he has to stay healthy. That's considered a bounce back season. He has to stay healthy.
Okay, because that's something I'm banking on with this too.
Yeah, it's him being injured. That's the only way that's gonna stop him is him being injured.
Well, you put him low at 65. I'm the one giving him more credit than that.
Well, I did kind of throw him kind of low, I threw him kind of low because
if anything, he should be mad at you.
No, he shouldn't be mad at me. I'm just thinking about his injuries. Yeah,
me too. I wanted to get 85, and I think that would be considered a bounce back for a guy of his caliber. But because if Devontae Adams got hurt and came back, you would expect 85.
That's true. That's very true. So with that though, I got Cooper Kupp. Mike Evans, a guy who's had 8 or 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. This dude puts it up, man.
With whoever for talent,
man. He puts it up, man. And we talked about Baker being his quarterback.
Yep,
I'm okay with that. I'm not a big Baker fan, but guess what? I'm a big Mike Evans fan, and I believe in Mike Evans. So
Yeah, he'll figure out how to get the ball in his own hands, though. He's a good 50-50 catch guy, so that's fine. He'll figure it out.
So I went with Josh Jacobs, who led the league in rushing last year. Kenneth Walker, who was in and out the lineup last year. He kind of got hurt towards the end of the season. Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis, and Mike Thomas. That's who I had through my 9 rounds. Once again, wide receiver heavy guy.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to blend it up with mine. So, I got Tua as my QB, which, I'm okay with. Like, I had him in a 2 QB league last year. He was actually a surprise success for me in that league, so that was cool. Saquon, who was, by saving grace, the person who, like, it happens every year. You got to find that person who people write off because of injury, though. So that's why I'm trying to give Michael Thomas a little bit of love, but he burned me last year, so it's a little hard. But, that could be that guy, though. Still be the guy, and Saquon's it. So as a second round, late first round pick, I'm cool with that. Devontae on top of the second. Jimmy can hit him. Jimmy's not that much of a step down from Carr, so.
So how do you feel about Devontae Adams? Like,
I'm good.
Personally. Not fantasy-wise, personally.
I think he's one of the top receivers to play the game, period. The way his releases, the way he's always open on a team that barely survived in Las Vegas last year with Derek Carr in the first year to do what he did.
Hey,
you gonna argue 1,500 yards?
No argument for me. No arguments for me.
Yeah, you can argue 1,500 yards, man.
If there's anything that you've said today that I agree with, it's Devontae Adams being one of the best to ever play the wide receiver spot.
Yep.
I mean, you got greats, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, T.O.,
for sure.
All these guys. But Devontae Adams, when it's all said and done,
crazy.
Right there in that mix.
Crazy.
Right
so, Devontae Adams, I dissed him last year, so I owe him some respect this year. So that's why I'm going with Devontae Adams. I trust that Jimmy will get the ball to him. Joe Mixon was also up there because, again, whether Joe Burrow's in or out of the lineup, he's going to get to work. They need that run game to work because if Joe Burrow's always passing, they're going to just send the heat after him. That offensive line has not been good. They've tried to improve it year after year. He's still getting blown up. He does what he does getting blown up. Incredible. But this is what happens, man. You just put your quarterback in dangerous positions. And one soft injury, and it just rolls, man. It's just kind of downhill from there for those events. But that being said, those events lead to Joe Mixon getting to work. So.
You want me to? I thought you was going down the list. I'll chime in.
No.
Joe Mixon.
You looked like you had a face that was arguing the point.
I did have a face because I just don't like Joe Mixon.
I don't get it. He does all he can catch. He's a 3-down back. There's not very. Samaje Perine was the only threat to any of his work at one point, and that was it.
Oh man!
And that was like four touches.
Oh man! I cannot think of Giovanni Bernard. I love Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah, he got pushed out,
and that's why I don't like Joe Mixon.
Yeah, but he got pushed out with Justin Hill or whatever it was too, or whatever. That guy, he also pushed out Giovanni.
No, it was more so Joe Mixon though. Joe Mixon came and just like took over.
They never saw Giovanni as the guy. That's why.
Hey, listen,
I like Giovanni. He's from North Carolina. I like that.
Hey, he was my guy. He was my guy, and I was kind of sad at it. So. Not saying that anything that you said was wrong. I just had a face because like every time I think about him, I just think about how he pushed Giovanni Bernard out. I was just like, but Joe Mixon's great, man. Like no arguments here. Like you said, 3-down back.
Yep. And then for me, Ridley, Ingram, Lockett, those are guys that I believe are going to get the work. You know what I'm saying? Like Lockett's always been the big play threat for Seattle, so. He's going to be the guy there. I know they got the rookie that they drafted and everything like that, but it might take some work away, but that's just going to take from Dwayne Eskridge or whatever his name is, like whatever 60 targets he might have gotten for the season, take away from those mouths. But and with DK probably getting ejected in 3 of the games this year, Tyler Lockett's going to for sure be the guy. So.
Oh man, dude, that is so funny because I love DK Metcalf.
I do too, but he gonna get ejected.
He just always wants to fight people.
He gonna get ejected.
Hey, my
man.
boy DK, if you watching this, hey, chill out, bro. Why you always gotta fight somebody?
He could be one of the best of the best, man.
Man, he could.
Yeah,
if he
he's a
just
beast.
learned how to like, oh man, he's just always trying to fight, man. But hey, I couldn't agree with you more. The only thing that I wouldn't be so, so up on is that you got Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram.
Hey, when one's getting tutty, the other's getting yards, so that's all we gotta worry about.
Okay.
One getting tutty, one getting yards.
All right. I mean, I like both those guys, though. I just try to stay away from guys that's both on the same team
I would agree.
Unless they're wide receiver quarterback combo.
Yep. But I'm gonna trust Trevor Lawrence is gonna be at least Kirk Cousins, where he can make two 1,000-yard people happen. So I'm gonna put that faith in Trevor Lawrence.
So you said Christian Kirk before off air, or did you say?
Oh yeah. No, I still think Christian Kirk's probably gonna be that. I think everyone's gonna be like more like an 895, 950-yard person. Somewhere in that range. But that's pretty good for a tight end. When you look at the landscape of the tight ends, even if he dogs behind the receivers, he's still gonna be, as far as tight end goes, probably in the top 10, maybe in the top 8. So,
well, I mean,
who are you going to put above him? Who else are you going to really put above him? Even with all the mouths to feed.
Put in front of who?
Evan Ingram.
I mean,
the answer is nobody.
Christian Kirk.
Maybe
Christian Kirk. They got Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones.
That sounds to me like the middle of the field's gonna be wide open. Guess where Evan Ingram's gonna live?
Hey, listen.
This wide open in the middle of the field, just free floating and hanging out, man.
I'm glad that this is just mocks because I agree. I mean, I just don't want both of them on. I just wouldn't have both because I'm gonna get Evan Ingram.
Those targets gotta go somewhere. If he's throwing 30, if he gets to 30 times a game, those targets gotta go somewhere. 5 of them, I'll take 5 for Evan Ingram. 4 and 5, 65 yards, a tutty, I'll take it.
You think you're getting Evan Ingram?
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting Calvin Ridley too.
Well, who's gonna take him? Seems to me like you don't like the Jaguars for some reason.
Oh, I love the Jaguars. I'm just telling you in this mock draft that we just
you
had.
frowned about Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk was pretty good last year.
I'm not big on Christian Kirk. He did have a decent
He
season
had a good
last
year,
year.
and everybody hated on his contract, and he actually performed very well for them in some clutch moments.
Did you see Tyreek Hill say that Christian Kirk is the top 5 receiver?
I did not see that.
He said that. Well, he really said that there's 32 teams with number 1 wide receivers, and all of those guys are top 10, top 5 receivers. Mm-hmm. And he specifically shouted out Christian Kirk. He was like, Christian Kirk is, yeah, right? He was just like, don't get my boy Christian Kirk messed up. So he shouted out Christian Kirk.
Validation.
Hey, man. he was giving him some love. He gave him some love. Validation. So, I mean, Christian Kirk did have a good season last year.
Also, Cliff Kingsbury held back that entire team where he was on with Kyler Murray in that time.
So what do you? So here's
Kingsbury was basically sabotaging.
Here's something that we got to talk about. Maybe we talk about it now. Maybe we talk about it later.
Let's see what the topic is.
Rondale Moore.
Later. We'll do a wide receivers special, and then we'll save it for that episode.
Okay.
We can't give them all our stuff.
Hey, not right now.
We got to close out. We got to save something for the rest of our podcast.
Well, if in that case.
Yep.
In that case.
Good place to TBD. Or TBC. Yeah.
To be continued till we see you guys next time.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Jared.
I'm Antoine. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Legendary Sports Podcast. If you guys want to follow us on social media, Instagram is legendary_sports podcast. Follow us there for all of our latest and stay up to date with us and what we got going on. Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Later.
Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business